We've got a match here from the Europa Conference. It's just about to kick off. It's Aston Villa against Lille. Aston Villa an odds-on favourite here at 1.82. And looking at that goal market, it's pretty even, okay? Over and under 2.5 goals. But anyway, we're obviously backing a lot of scores in favour of Aston Villa with our plan B covering that 1-1 scoreline. Should they maybe get into a bit of trouble. We are expecting goals to be scored in this one, which is why we're not going to bother really covering the 0-0 or the 0-1. And also, we got bigger green on the bigger scorelines, 3-0 and 3-1 with almost 3 times as much green. Okay, so the idea is that we're going to try and see if we can hit those. But if not, we've got green to play with on the lower scores. Anyway, it's just about to kick off. Let's see what happens as it progresses. We just reached half-time and Aston Villa are leading in this one, leading 1-0, which is very good for us. And we're on that 1-0 scoreline. We've got some green on that. Now, we're not expecting it to stay 1-0, so we can lay off this 1-0 scoreline, put it down pretty much to break even, which is going to boost up profits on the other scores and lower the overall risk on the trade. And I've put that in there at 5.1. It should get taken in just a moment. It might not get taken while we're recording this clip, but you can see it there. It will get taken early stages of the second half. But as you can see, so far so good, really, because we are trying to get onto those higher scores, the 3-0 or the 3-1. So to be 1-0 at half-time means we're almost halfway there. Anyway, that lay of 5.1, some of it's been taken, the rest will be taken shortly. Let's see what happens in the second half. It's Aston Villa 1, Lille 0 at half-time. 58 minutes in, it's now Aston Villa 2, Lille 0. So it's looking very comfortable for Aston Villa. We're now on that 2-0 scoreline, £70 of green on it. We're definitely expecting more goals in this. So we're going to be laying off that 2-0, which will put us in a very nice position with the green on the other scorelines, with a nice bit of green on the 2-1, even more green on that 3-0 and the 3-1 as well. So yeah, that's just been taken and that's in the market, and now we've got our risk down substantially as well. Okay, so our risk on this whole trade has been pretty much halved, and just to show you, it's a pretty nice cash out also. So we're not going to be taking the cash out. We're going to try and see if we can get onto these upper score lines, and we'll see what happens from there. It's Aston Villa 2, Lille 0. We just had another goal in this one. Lille have pulled one back, or have they? Okay, there is what looks like a VAR check going on. If the goal is confirmed, it's going to be 2-1 to Aston Villa. But this is something to highlight. When there is a VAR check going on, don't take any action in the market, okay? Because your bets are probably going to get reset if the goal is chalked off. And even if the goal isn't chalked off, the prices are not going to be correct in the market. So if the market is not looking right, don't take any action. Right now there's a VAR check into this goal, and we're going to find out very soon whether it's going to stand or not, and then we will take the action. But when the market looks like this, stay away, okay? We're going to find out in just a moment. We'll be right back. And that goal was indeed chalked off. It was offside for Lille, and so we are back on the 2-0 scoreline. Okay, so just an update there, and just another little tip for those who are new to the Betfair markets. That's something to be aware of when a VAR check is going on. So anyway, Aston Villa 2, Lille 0. 85 minutes on the clock. Lille have scored. It's 2-1. So this one is definitely going to count. And what we're going to do, we've got to move quickly in these late stages. As you can see, we're a little bit vulnerable if Lille do go and get another one. So we're going to lay off all of the risk. So there's no further risk in the market. Always protect your bank. That's the rule number one with correct score trading. You don't want to come this far and then 2 quick goals for Lille. Suddenly we're losing money. Anyway, that puts us in a position where we now know we're not going to lose money on this, and we've got our 2 target score lines, and we're going to let these run. Okay, 2-1 to Aston Villa will give us £81 of profit, and if we can get a third goal for Aston Villa, that's where we're going to hit some nice profits. But anyway, that's pretty much it. We're not going to lose money on this one. It's just a matter of how much we can potentially make on this. So let's see what happens next. Aston Villa 2, Lille 1. Almost lost track of the score because it's not at the top. Anyway, let's see how this one ends. So we're in the late stages of this one. We are still on the Aston Villa 2, Lille 1 scoreline, and that's probably going to be it. Okay, Ollie Watkins gave him the lead, 13 minutes. You saw at half-time we traded out that 1-0, and then Aston Villa doubled the lead to make it 2-0 on 56 minutes. We traded that out as well. We had that Lille goal early, which was chalked off with VAR. Then they pulled one back on 84 minutes, which was actually even better for us, okay, because then we could trade out at lower odds. Okay, when you're trading the correct score market, the later the goals arrive, the better. Okay, it might get a little bit more stressful waiting around for them, but the later the goals, the better. So anyway, we've come out with this with an £81 profit, which is pretty much an 81% return on our risk, and that's the best way to look at it. Always look at it as a percentage return on your stake. So we're out of this one. Aston Villa 2, Lille 1. And that match there with Aston Villa and Lille is definitely a good example of when you're trading the correct score market, it can be very, very comfortable when it does go to plan. When you're trading the correct score market, you picked out your correct scores. We've obviously favoured Aston Villa. They're winning 1-0, then they go 2-0 up, and it's late in the second half. Pretty comfortable when it goes in that direction. It's not very stressful at all. There's not that many decisions you need to make when it's actually going to plan. So just pointing that out with regards to trading the correct score market, it's not as complex as it might initially seem. And that particular trade was good. And one of the main reasons it was good was because the risk was minimized pretty early on, okay, by the, what was it, the second or the third goal. I mean, we were down to risking only half of our stake, but our profit potential was much, much higher. In the end, we made a £80 profit. So we entered the match with 100% risk. We made an 80% return. However, during the match, we got our risk down to just 50%. Still made that 80% return. And if we would have got just another goal to Aston Villa, then we were looking at close to a 200% return. So again, this is the type of trading that is very, very good for the mindset. It's a risk reward ratio which is very sustainable with regards to, you might lose a match, but in your very next trade after that, you could win it all back and much more. And a lot of people do like to trade like that. It's never that fun to have a loss and then have to know that you need 3, 4, 5 matches in order to make up that single loss. And that's if you don't lose again in the meantime. So anyway, stick to that sort of principle and trading will be a lot easier and a lot more comfortable. And as said earlier, if any of this correct score trading looks interesting to you, you want to learn more about it, make sure you get this free download. It's the Correct Score Mastery course prospectus. This will show you how you could potentially take things to the next level with your correct score trading. To get this free ebook, the link is in the description of this video. Just scroll below the video, click on it, fill out the form, and then we'll email the book to you. If you're on a big screen, you can scan that QR code and then fill out the form, and we'll email you the book also. Okay, it's absolutely free, and it will be the next step towards potentially learning and mastering the correct score market. So if you've liked anything you've seen today and you do want to learn more about it, then that's the next thing to do. Okay, go grab a copy of that. As said, link in the description, or scan the QR code. And what you've just seen was actually just a clip, and we've got plenty more where that came on. So the video on the screen right about now should direct you to the full video where you can get more information, see more live trades, more analysis, how they played out, etc, etc. So go click on that video and we will see you in that next video. It's highly, highly recommended. Go check it out.